Rimane in semifinale di Champions, vince la Coppa Italia, no, chiederà di lottare per cercare di raggiungere.
Devo fermare Gianluca perché c'è una notizia clamorosa, me l'hanno detto in auricolari, io ho detto ma è uno scherzo, non è vero, io non so se è già pronto Paolo Assogna per dircela, no, intanto ve la dico io, Mourinho la prossima stagione sarà il nuovo allenatore della Roma. Io vi lascio il commento perché è una notizia veramente clamorosa.
José Mourinho è il nuovo allenatore della Roma. Una notizia a sorpresa annunciata sui canali social del club poche ore dopo l'ufficializzazione della fine del ciclo dell'attuale allenatore Paolo Fonseca, che lascerà Roma al termine della stagione. Una notizia che ha colto tutti alla sprovvista, visto che i bookmakers avevano praticamente già affidato la panchina dei giallorossi per l'anno prossimo a Maurizio Sarri. Il tecnico portoghese è stato scelto perché è un fuoriclasse che ha vinto trofei a ogni livello e garantirà una leadership e un'esperienza straordinaria per il nostro ambizioso progetto, è scritto nel comunicato ufficiale della Roma. Vincitore di 2 Champions League con 2 squadre diverse, di una Europa League, 3 Premier League con il Chelsea, campionati nazionali in Italia, Spagna e Portogallo, Mourinho garantirà, nei piani della proprietà americana giallorossa, un grande passo in avanti nella costruzione di una mentalità vincente, solida e duratura nel nostro club. L'annuncio di Mourinho ha fatto volare in borsa il titolo della Roma, sospeso per eccesso di rialzo e poi ripartito senza freni dopo la riammissione, segnando un progresso del 26,33%. Dopo essermi confrontato con la proprietà e con Tiago Pinto, ho capito immediatamente quanto sia alta l'ambizione di questa società. L'incredibile passione dei tifosi della Roma mi ha convinto ad accettare l'incarico. Dai e Roma, ha dichiarato lo Special One, che avrà un contratto triennale con i giallorossi fino al 30 giugno del 2024.
Al lavoro a piedi.
Mourinho alla Roma può significare quello che tutti aspettiamo da 20 anni. Non lo dico perché sono scaramantico, ma vogliamo vincere.
Si spera che magari si vince qualcosa, giusto quello. Che magari possa portare un trofeo, oppure una semplice Coppa Italia, che manca anche quella da un bel po'. Sì, un bel po' di mano dura, far capire che non si scherza, insomma.
Credo almeno un trofeo nei prossimi 2 anni deve essere obbligatorio, ecco. Cioè non è che ci deve essere per forza, se no non lo mandano via perché non hanno i soldi per tenerlo poi. Quindi
sono contento che è tornato in Italia, anche se lui è interista, però darà sicuramente una motivazione in più per batterlo, da tifoso juventino.
Che comunque è un grande allenatore, comunque stimato in tutto il mondo, quindi secondo me è un'ottima scelta quello che ha fatto la Roma per la società e tutto. Può essere un grande passo avanti.
L'arrivo di Mourinho alla Roma sarebbe meglio secondo me,
rispetto a Fonseca, perché si spera che con Mourinho il calciomercato magari, speriamo, nonostante le coppe non ci siano, speriamo che col calciomercato si riesca a trovare nuove soluzioni, nuovi moduli che riescano a sbloccare un pochetto la Roma, perché se no...
Beh, siamo super gasati tutti quanti, ho sentito vari amici e conoscenti, siamo super gasati di Mourinho alla Roma, mo vediamo, sicuramente bisogna che insieme all'allenatore vengano anche grandi acquisti. Poi per me Mourinho è sempre stato uno degli allenatori più bravi, se non il più forte. Ultimamente è andato un po' a calare, però sono sicuro che si riprenderà, e magari questa è l'occasione buona insieme a noi, insieme alla Roma.
Give us a hypothetical then, Gab. How do the next 2 years play out with Jose Mourinho in charge of Roma?
Well, I'll tell you what, for Jose Mourinho to succeed, we're going to have to see, he's going to have to go back and go way old school. Every job he's had, he's either had tremendous players or a lot of money to spend, or, you know, even at Spurs, they had the new stadium, the promise of more spending before COVID hit. I think we would have had more spending had it not been for COVID shutting down the stadium. Everywhere he's had that. Even at Porto, he took over a team that had long been successful. At Roma, he's taking over a side that have lost a ton of money in recent years, and for a number of different reasons. He's taking over a side that, as you guys pointed out, they finished seventh, or are seventh right now, but are far behind sixth place. He's taking over from a manager, Paulo Fonseca, who plays a completely different brand of football. His own brand of football has been derided as past-it and too defensive and not proactive enough. He's taking over a squad where he has a whole bunch of older players on big salaries. Guys like Dzeko, who's 36, Mkhitaryan, 32, Pedro, I think 32 or 33, and we're not going to be free agents this season, so he's stuck with them again next year. And they do have some very good young players, but arguably his best player, Zaniolo, hasn't kicked the ball all season because he's been injured all season. And on top of all this, he's going to become the manager of Roma, which I think, in terms of fan pressure, in terms of daily local media scrutiny, having people in your face outside of the training center every day, following you around, I think only Barcelona and Real Madrid provide more pressure and are more difficult to manage in. Talk to people who've worked there and worked elsewhere. So, Craig talked about the daily wear and tear. Well, he's going to have oodles of that in Rome. But I do think this. I think we've all been critical of Mourinho at different times in the past. He's putting himself back out there on the line. He's intelligent enough. He knows all this. He knows what the task is. He knows he's not going to be able to go out there, snap his finger, and get the Friedkins to go and buy him Mbappe or Camavinga or Pogba or whoever the flavor of the month is. He knows he's going to have to work from the bottom up. He knows he's going to have to work on the training pitch. Maybe this is what he feels he needs right now. And maybe this is the best way to prove people wrong. Show that, you can take Roma to a higher level. And it's going to be so tough because as you saw this season in Serie A, the 2 Milan clubs are back. Juventus are going to be back. Atalanta are regulars in the Champions League knockout rounds. Even finishing in the top 4 is going to be a big task. Now, the owners have said, we don't expect anything in the first season but building. We don't really care where we finished, obviously, unless we get relegated. We just want to see you start building. And then we'll see where we are in terms of results in year 2. Let's see if they're true to his word. Let's see if Mourinho can live up to the expectations.
It's amazing, just quickly, that we always talk about, he's finished now.
Yep.
It's like 2 fingers going up. Go on,
Yes.
read the graphic.
Okay, I will do. Thank you very much. This is what he had to say.
I couldn't be bothered reading it.
After meetings with the ownership, I immediately understood their ambition for Roma. Together, we want to build a winning project. The incredible passion of the fans convinced me to accept the job. I can't wait to start next season. Dake Roma.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for that.
Okay.
That was intriguing.
Well, that's right. What have you got to say?
No, I want to say a lot of people talked about him being finished, and it's almost as a club manager, including us, some of us, and it's almost like for him, it's proven to people, whether it is or not, I don't know, but it's almost like him proving to people, you keep saying I'm finished, but I keep landing in these big jobs. I mean, they've not been super successful recently, but as Gab said, Roma are a huge club. There's big pressure there. And so it's almost like 2 fingers up to people saying, no, you keep saying I'm finished, but I keep getting offered these, I keep landing in these big jobs. I can still do it. And I wonder if that's what just drives him.
Yeah.
Rather than going and sitting on the beach where, everybody's right, I can't do this anymore. It's a constant drive to prove to people and maybe himself that he can still crack it like he did 10, 15 years ago.
On that point, though, Jurgen, he's made this decision very quickly. You think the Euros are coming up? Who knows which international managers could be sacked after that? Maybe you could look at that, the Portuguese job, for example. Why? Is this just ego? Is this, as Craig's saying, look, I've been offered a big job, I'm going to take it, I'm going to prove you all wrong?
Yeah, I don't think it's ego. I mean, he's driven and he's restless. And obviously, I thought, he takes a step back and watches the Euros and maybe the Portuguese job, that would be maybe the ideal role for him after all these clubs and all the up and downs he had, but a lot of ups, obviously. So in that way, I really admire Jose. Taking on now Roma is I think is very courageous. It's courageous because obviously he measures himself and has always said that on trophies. He's there for winning trophies, and it's why he went to Spurs. It didn't work out then, so be it. But jumping then kind of within 2 weeks on the next job is just showing you that he's still very, very kind of upset because he was let go by Spurs and he's hurt. And it says to his manager, obviously his manager's his agent is very, very connected in the world of football. Hey, get me the next possible job, and I want to prove everybody wrong. Or he's really convinced and says, this is a really cool project. Rome should be one of the top clubs in Europe. And if the freaking organization provides me with a little bit of cash, I can make it happen. But it's also risk. He takes a risk there because obviously the expectations from the Roma fans will be enormous.
All right, we've got some breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ, and I've got our soccer guys, Luis Miguel Echegaray and Tomas Rongen, to break that down, plus a look ahead of the Champions League semifinal later today. But gentlemen, the special and chosen one, Jose Mourinho, is going back to Serie A, and it is AS Roma. Luis Miguel, I'll give you first word here. What are your thoughts about Jose Mourinho going back to Italy?
Well, don't you just love this? We're just getting ready for Champions League content. And of course, we get one out of left field. Jose Mourinho returns to Italy, as you mentioned, Tommy, goes to Roma. We can't forget that just over a decade, Jose Mourinho won 2 Serie A league titles with Inter Milan, Supercoppa, the Champions League, Coppa Italia. So he loves Serie A. He said it before, he understands it well. He loves the culture of Italian football. And this is a massive get for Roma and Jose Mourinho. I think obviously it's way too early to try and figure out what's going to happen, because Roma is a team in disarray right now. They're obviously not in a Champions League spot. They're on the verge of getting knocked out of the Europa League. So they have a lot to do after the Paulo Fonseca missed objective. So now Jose Mourinho comes in, and the good thing is that Jose Mourinho, as mentioned, knows this league and he likes it. And I think it's gonna be reciprocated. So I'm very, very intrigued to see how this works out. But plenty of work to do for both Jose and Roma as well.
I think it's the perfect fit for some of the reasons that Luis just mentioned, but more so, if there's one country still in the world that can embrace the tactics of Jose Mourinho, it's the Italian player. In my travels as a coach or as a player, the Italian teams are very disciplined. The Italian teams don't mind defending for long stretches or for 90 minutes and winning 1-0. So I think that's a great choice by Roma, and for Jose to resurrect his career, I think it's huge as well.
Guys, for Jose Mourinho, you mentioned Inter Milan, who recently got the Serie A Scudetto for the first time since Juventus had that 9-year streak in the division, and for Roma, 7th, as Luis had mentioned, domestically going on. Guys, what are we thinking about, or thinking I should say, about Jose Mourinho resurrecting his career? He's won at every place he's been except for Tottenham, where he wasn't able to win a trophy, and he's been at big clubs. So this is not necessarily a super step down, but if he doesn't work out with this particular club, it could end what his reign will be. Luis, what do you think about that?
No, it's a very good point. Listen, my main criticism of Jose Mourinho, and the thing is, we have to remember the overall resume of this manager. It's absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, titles in Spain, Italy, England, etc., etc. So we have to remember just the body of work that he has provided. The problem is that the special one, especially in the last 6-7 years, has become more the reactive one, the one that just reacts to matches. He's not really an offensively minded manager. He's not really a proactive manager. He's not really one that's adapting to the modern game and the changes of the modern game. So to me, his #1 task is to make sure that he goes back to what he knows best, which is controlling the game when they don't have the ball, which is understanding the opposition, which is giving confidence to all his players. I think he's going to learn a valuable lesson from Tottenham, where I think he was trying to rely too much on his reputation to try and get Tottenham to go and climb above the table, etc., etc. And I think with Roma, he needs to go back to basics. If I were him, I would go back to the book that he co-wrote, where he discusses his trajectory in his career, specifically in Portugal with Porto, and how to him the most important, the most fundamental thing was collective unity. If Roma can understand that, and Jose Mourinho finally becomes more a proactive manager as opposed to a reactive manager, I think they can succeed. But I agree with TR, I think this is a good move. It's a gamble, maybe, but it's a good gamble.
Yeah, it certainly is. And if you look at the makeup of Roma right now, where they've struggled is giving up goals in bunches, by the way, i.e. the last game against Manchester United. So that's one area he can make better. And by the way, you can't go further down. So I don't think his legacy is at stake. Somebody always wants to take a chance with Jose Mourinho, the special one. If it doesn't work out, the Portuguese national team is always there for him.
Io capisco che per voi avete preso il peggio che c'è in questo momento, poverino. Poverino, io capisco che a Roma c'era bisogno di un nome, ma avete preso come quando prendete il giocatore che è finito, poverino, finito su tutte le linee. È nato a cercare il prima possibile di prendersi una panchina con soldi, perché lui sapeva, terzo esonero in 4 anni, cacciato da tutte le parti, per incompatibilità, per carattere. Invece lui prima era forte in quello, e adesso addirittura proprio per risultati col Tottenham, in più proprio per non capacità di portare ad un livello il Tottenham dopo 2 anni che è lì con quello che ha speso. Veramente, te lo dico, un disastro. Poi per l'ambiente Roma magari sarà anche bene, non lo so, quello che è, però un disastro, perché poi voi aspettate chissà che cosa, e invece ti dico avete preso il peggio del peggio, perché poi non fa neanche calcio lui, no? lui fa praticamente l'anticalcio, perciò se volevate vedere il calcio e via dicendo, vi divertirete con qualche conferenza stampa perché ormai tanto fa polemiche, fa casino, allora voi c'ha ragione qua e là, quando poi ve lo faceva con l'Inter invece vi incazzavate e vi fa il teatrino, però vi dico prendete il peggio, per ricostruire, per rifare il peggio che ci poteva essere, ma te lo dico che a me è sempre stato il mio preferito più di Guardiola.
Potemi ragazzi.
Dai, va. Ciao ragazzi.
Per l'arrivo di Mourinho,
certo.
che messaggio è che
e meno male, è una bella notizia, ogni tanto una gioia, che devi dire? No, io credo che sia stato un bellissimo colpo e che soprattutto è un segnale anche simbolico che non esistono grandi problemi non risolvibili. Quindi io dico grazie alla Roma perché ha segnato un grande gol e io mi auguro che sia l'inizio di una vera riscossa.